So what we're going to do is type in diskpart, D-I-S-K-P-A-R-T. You see I've typed it. I'm going to hit enter. And what it's going to do is sit here for a couple of seconds. It can be anywhere for a couple of seconds to 10 seconds. It's already done in my case. I have a prompt right here. So once you've got your diskpart prompt, you'll have a little flashing cursor there. What you want to do is type in list disk, L-I-S-T space D-I-S-K. And I'm going to do that right now. I'll zoom out a little, kind of having to do this left-handed. Hopefully I just spelled out list disk. Yes, I did. So hit that, and what this does is shows you a list of all the disks on your computer. This includes hard drives and USB removable storage. So what you want to do is find your USB disk. If it's a 4 gig disk, then chances are it's going to be really easy to find. You know, obviously in my case, disk 0, 1, and 2, well, those are 600 gigabyte hard drives, 596 gigs. So disk 3 is about 4 gigs, 3844 megs or whatever it says, 3822. That's the one I want to select. That's the one you want to make a note of, this number, disk 3, for me. It might be different for you. It probably will be different for you. So now I'm going to select this disk. So I'm going to type select space disk space 3. So I got select space disk space 3, and I'm going to hit enter, and it'll tell you disk 3 is now the selected disk. Alright, now I'm going to type in clean, and this is where you want to make sure that you have the right disk selected, because once you type in clean, you're in deep doo-doo if you've got the wrong drive selected. So I'm going to type in clean. Clean. And it's going to clean that drive. And what that basically does, it'll tell you diskpart has succeeded in cleaning the disk. What that does is cleans off the important areas of the disk or the USB flash device pertaining to boot records, master boot records, all that partitioning and all that good stuff. So you essentially have just totally blanked out your disk. So now we want to create a partition. We want to create a primary partition. So we're going to type in create, and then a space, and then partition, P-A-R-T-I-T-I-O-N space primary. So create space partition space primary. What this is going to tell diskpart to do is create a partition, an empty partition on the drive, on the USB flash drive, and make it a primary partition. It'll say diskpart succeeded in creating the specified partition. So now the only thing left to do is make that partition active, and this is really important. If you don't do this last step, the drive will not be bootable. So type in active. That's all you have to type, active. And it says diskpart mark the current partition as active, and we are done. Type in exit to exit the diskpart partitioner, and now we're back at our command prompt, and we're going to type in exit again to make this window go away. And our USB flash drive is now ready. Ready for what, you might ask? No, but seriously, it's ready to put the Windows 7 or Windows Vista installation files onto it. So what I'm going to do is open up an Explorer window. Again, us geekier folks, you can go to Start menu and do all this, but really, to open up an Explorer window on your computer, all you got to do is find the Windows key and the E key and press it. Windows key and E, and it brings up an Explorer window. How cool is that? You know how much time that saves you? And there's tons of other Windows key combinations. Maybe I'll show them to you guys one day. So, now, we're going to find our removable disk down here. It says removable disk H. And you know it's got a kind of a funny looking icon. Well, what we want to do is right click on this removable disk. Obviously it'll be different for you depending on how many drives you have, but you should be able to tell which one is your flash drive, your USB flash drive. So I'm going to right click on it and click format, and now I'm going to choose the capacity is what we wanted at 3.73 gigs. That's basically 4 gigabytes with a little bit of overhead. Now down here under file system, it's a very, very important you change this. Very, 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 very important. Change it from FAT32 to the first choice, NTFS. If you do not do this, this will not work. You do not want to format as FAT32 or any of the other options except NTFS. So remember, change file system to NTFS. Allocation size, leave alone. Don't click the restore device default. Volume label you leave alone. Now all you need to do is make sure quick format is checked. You can do this without checking quick format like this, but it will take hours to format a flash drive, and it's wasteful to the flash drive. So make sure quick format is checked. Now all you got to do is press the start button, and Windows will warn you, oh my god, you're fixing to erase all the data on this flash disk. Well, we already did that earlier in disk part, so it doesn't even matter. Click OK. Now this window will gray out for a few seconds while Windows is doing its formatting job, and in a minute you'll see a window that will pop up and say, hey, I formatted your disk, format complete. So we're done. Now looky here, drive H now shows up as an empty drive. You can see there's nothing on it, just a little bitty tiny little bitty bit of blue there. So I'm going to double click on it to open it, and now we're ready. I'm going to move this window over, and I'm going to, remember that Windows 7 installation files folder we copied earlier? Excuse me. Here it is. So I'm going to double click it to open it. I said, oh, there it is. It opened on top of the other window. I'm going to move it over here so that I've got visibility on both window panes. And now I'm going to take all these files that are in the 7 folder, or whatever folder you named your installation files folder. These are Windows 7 installation files, and here is my USB drive opened up. It's totally empty, there's nothing on there, and we're going to drag all these files. See, I've got them all. Got them all selected, so all I did was grab hold of them, and I'm going to drag them all the way over here and release them right in that window. And now it's going to sit there and copy all the files from this 7 folder, which is where I copied my Windows 7 installation files to, and it's going to copy them all over here to this window, which is the empty flash drive. And it's going to take a little while, not nearly as long as it took to copy the files off the DVD. And we're almost done. Only takes about 2 minutes, thereabouts. Get to the last little bit. And now it's all finished. We can close both of these windows, and you can delete this. In my case, it's the 7 folder on the desktop, but whatever folder you copied all those Windows 7 installation files to temporarily, you can delete that. So now pull this out. You have now created